Captain Barton told me he's been trying to trace your children.
Oh. I didn't want to get him into any strife, Mrs. Davidson.
You haven't. Captain Barton thought you'd like to know what he's found out.
You mean you found out something about my kids?
Well, I went to the home where they put your children, and from their records and what they can remember, your two sons were fostered out relatively early. Now, it could take quite some time to trace them through Jigsaw and other organizations, and a lot depends on whether they wish to be contacted. However, we did have a little more luck with your daughter, Marcia. She left the home when she was 16, and kept in touch for some 8 years or so after that. And the last they heard of her, she said she was marrying someone in Melbourne. That was some 20 years ago. So I took the liberty of advertising, and I got a reply. A woman who says she is, or was, Marcia Birdsworth has answered the ad.
Let's just say I think you should reconsider, for your own sake.
You can't tell me what to do with things like that. I'll go and tell Mrs. Davidson.
Can I give you a hand there, Miss Bennett?
Oh, thank you. I didn't realize Vincent had managed to accumulate so much.
Yeah, right. Got it.
What Dave I want?
Nothing.
Well, it wasn't good news by the look of it. All right, if you're going to talk to us, I'm going to twist your arm.
Thought any more about getting rid of that Gilmore? I reckon she should be boiled in oil for getting rid of Ken the way she did.
Shut up, Lizzie. I don't want to talk about it.
Just trying to take your mind off it, that's all.
Back to your cells.
Why?
Shut up and snap to it. Oh, what's the matter? Someone go over the wall? You don't move this instant. Oh, all right, all right.
But why? Oh, why ask? Probably something dreadful like Vinegar lost a hairpin. We're all going to be locked up until she's found it.
Come in.
Gilmore's dead.
What?
Well, she appears to have fallen down the stairs.
Well, who found her?
Miss Bennett and I were just returning from H Block when discovered the body lying in the stairwell.
Did you examine her?
Just briefly, there was no pulse, and by the way the body was lying, it looked like her neck was broken.
Were any of the women about?
Only Brian. She was standing over the body.
We'll get the women back into their cells immediately.
It's being done right now.
Good. I don't want anyone to touch the body till the police arrive.
All right, Miss Davidson.
Oh, typical of the bloody screws to lock us in and not tell us why.
Maybe Ken's got back in and they've locked you up for your own protection.
At least we're safe in here.
Come on, ladies. Hey, Mrs. Jackson, what's going on?
You'll be told.
What's going on? What's going on?
Oh, don't, Bert. I want to stay in here.
On?
I don't want to get thrown in the crowd.
On? What's going on?
You bitch! Who's she talking to?
Hey, Judy, what's up?
Sharon's dead! Crying. Oh, she's strung herself up. What's going on? Gilmore's done herself in. Oh, good riddance.
Hey, Judy, how did it happen?
As if you didn't know, you bitch! You killed her!
Is everybody locked up?
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
Or who's standing guard over the body?
Mr. Stewart. It's handy to have at a time like this, so cool and efficient.
I expect all my staff to be like that, Miss Bennett.
Mrs. Davidson.
Yes.
Detective Sergeant Teagan, Constable Stevens. I'd like to see the body before it's moved.
Miss Bennett will show you the way.
This way, gentlemen.
Take it away. The sooner I get the pathologist report, the better.
Nasty business.
Yeah, I'll get a detailed statement from both of you later. I'm more interested in the immediate circumstances of Gilmore's death. Now, you were first on the scene, Mr. Stewart.
With Miss Bennett, yeah.
We were returning from H Block when we found the body. Bryant was standing over it.
Bryant, right. Then?
Well, there was very little we could do except report the discovery and then put emergency procedures into action. Most regrettable accident, but that's the way it goes.
So, in your opinion, it was an accident?
Yeah, of course.
In my opinion, she was pushed down those stairs. She was very unpopular with the other women.
Anybody with a particular grudge against her?
Smith and Vincent. And they're both in here for violent crimes.
What about Bryant?
No, she's not the violent type.
Well, whether she is or not, everything has to be taken into account at this stage. Look, I'll speak to Bryant first. Will you bring it to me in the governor's office?
Right, but what about Smith and Vincent?
Everybody will be questioned in the course of this investigation.
I was heading for the toilets, and I saw something on the stairs. It was Sharon.
What happened then, Miss Bryant?
Well, I went up to her and I knelt down and felt for her pulse. But I knew she was dead.
How did you know it?
Well, she was lying funny, her neck.
Was there anyone else on the stairs?
You don't think B was going to hang around and wait to get caught, do you?
Miss Gilmore was in on a drugs charge. Now, prisoners have ways of getting supplies inside. Isn't it possible that while under the influence of illicit drugs, Miss Gilmore fell accidentally to her death?
That is highly unlikely, Sergeant.
Why is that?
The only drugs available to the women are those prescribed by the medical staff. Gilmore was not receiving medication.
What was your relationship with the deceased?
Sharon. Well, we were very close.
I see from your file that you committed a crime to be with Miss Gilmore in Wentworth. You must have been extremely close to go to such lengths.
We were lovers. Surely that's on your file, too.
Quite. And so, being so close, you must have known how she was feeling at the time. Whether she was depressed enough to take her own life.
Don't give me that. Sharon wasn't suicidal. She was murdered, I know that.
So she was in high spirits the last time you saw her?
Not exactly.
No? Why not?
Well, we'd had this argument, you see, about what she'd done to me.
So, during the course of this relationship, you had violent quarrels.
All lovers
And during one of these
quarrel.
quarrels, you pushed her down the stairs.
Mr. David Austin to see Miss Carrie Vincent.
All visits are temporarily suspended.
But this is very important. It's business.
No exceptions.
It's a police car, isn't it? That ambulance. That have anything to do with it?
I couldn't say.
You mean you won't say? Look, I know you're only doing your job, my friend, and I'm trying to do mine. But the police car and the ambulance, no visitors. Must mean something. Well, if you won't tell me, I'll find out for myself.
The last time I saw Gilmore was in the recreation room about 3 hours ago. She seemed pretty pleased with herself. That's all I know.
Sit down, Miss Vincent. I haven't finished. Do you know anyone who would bear a grudge against the deceased?
Oh, plenty. Practically all of us hated her. She was a chocolate frog for a start.
Chocolate frog?
She sucked up to the screws. Apart from that, she was the meanest little bitch you ever clapped your eyes on, out to get anything and anyone that crossed her.
Did you ever cross her?
Oh, she was looking for people to cross so she could get back at them. I mean, the first day I arrived, she made a pass at me. I knocked her back. She also ruined one of my paintings.
Did you ever retaliate?
Sure. With some well-chosen words about her charming character.
Are you sure you only used words, Miss Vincent?
I didn't bash her, if that's what you mean.
No?
No. You see, I'm not that stupid. Even if I'd wanted to, I wouldn't have laid a finger on Gilmore.
Why not?
Because when I came here, I had to keep sweet. I knew if I didn't, they wouldn't have allowed me to paint.
I see from your file that you were deprived of that privilege this morning as a direct result of Gilmore's actions.
What of it?
Oh, perhaps knowing you had nothing to lose by attacking Gilmore, you used more than words to convince her of your contempt and pushed her down the stairs.
I was nowhere near the stairs. Miss Bennett was confiscating my painting gear.
That's correct.